Heyo, what's going on, guys? This is Marguerite here. Welcome to part 1 of the Ultimate Bakugan Reboot Collection review that I said I was going to do after I was done with my Beyblade Collection review. So, before I begin into all of that, let me just preface some disclaimers real quick. First of all, this video is a reshoot. And the reason why is because I wasn't really confident with the last video. I don't think I actually did all that well on my first run of this video. And so I thought I would just take the original one, get rid of it, and then just do an entire reshoot of it. So in the initial video when I attempted to do this first episode, I went into like the whole story of what Bakugan is and all that stuff. And I think that I'm going to actually skip over that in this reshoot because I think you guys already pretty much know all about Bakugan at this point. If you've watched my previous reviews, then you'll know what it is. And most of you coming in probably already know what it is at this point. So I'm just going to skip past that part. And we're going to move straight into how this series is going to work. I think we're just going to do that. So in terms of my total collection, I have 4 entire of these tackle boxes, you can see. Right here on screen, these are the tackle boxes. There. I have 4 of these. So basically each episode will go, we're going to do 4 parts of this. It's going to be part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. And then, which is all going to cover each of the boxes, which you can see, each one has pretty much this exact same amount of Bakugan here. So we're going to go from, if we're going to go this way, we're going to go from the left and just go down the rows like so, like in a snake pattern. We're just going to go through them. Actually, we're going to go through them like 1 row there, 1 row there, 1 row there, and then 1 row there. So we're just going to go from left to right for each one. And then after that, then we're going to do a final part 5, which is looking at the Armored Alliance collection over here. And then that's going to be about it. So that is how the series is going to work. So how about we get started? Starting with our first Bakugan of the review. We're just going to go in faction order here, starting with Pyrus, as be expected. Here we have our first one. It's a little, here we have it, very nice looking. This is Pyrus Dragonoid. As you guys can see, Dragonoid is a cute little duder. He is a little dragon, as you guys can see. Very cute looking. Nice attention to detail in here with the nice red and the green and the orange on the horn there. Looks very nice. Like the little orange little markings on the wings. Very nice attention to detail there. I like the little orange spiky tail as well. And yeah, this is a pretty cool little dude. I like little Pyrus Dragonoid. He is a cute little guy. So that is him. So hang on one second before we continue. Just need to close my blinds because the lighting is awful. So let's try that again. There we go. Much better. A little bit of darkness always helps, especially seeing these things as small as they are. So next up in the review, we're taking a look at this guy. Very, very interesting looking details on this one. This is Pyrus Titan Dragonoid. So Titan Dragonoid is actually the 3rd in the series of evolutions for Dragonoid, and he's quite nice looking, as you guys can see. Very nice, with the nice attention to detail there, which I'm going to get into the light so you can actually see. There we go. Move the camera a little bit closer. There we go. So you guys can actually see what's going on. So you can see the nice attention to detail there. You can see the nice horn detail. You can see the eyes, and you can see his teeth, which I wish were painted in white, as teeth are supposed to be white, but as they should be. But they decided not to detail that. But nicely, I do like that they nicely detailed the lower jaw, though, so you can at least make out, where the top of his head is and where the bottom of his head is. Next up is his arms, which are very nicely detailed. Has these nice kind of cybernetic orange details there with nice detailed little gems on his wrists for both sides. The arms are not posable, they are completely static. And then we do have his little chest core, which is very nicely detailed in green. Then we do have the nice orange sort of little details on his wings, which again are very nice. I do like that. I do like the red on him as well, which is very nice to see. And we do have the nice orange markings on him as well. So overall, very solid little Dragonoid. I do like him. Now briefly for comparison, we are going to bring in core Dragonoids. You guys can see the differences between those two and just move them into the foreground there so you guys can see how that looks. Or to the background, I mean. Not foreground, background. There you go. So you can see the differences between those two. And you spin them around. There you go. So that way you guys can actually really see. As you can see, for the third evolution of Dragonoid, he's very, very big looking. I wish they released him as an Ultra, but sadly they didn't. He is just a core. He does, again, come with... This guy originally came with Dragonoid Maximus, if you saw the review for that. So, pretty cool stuff. I do like him. So that is Pyrus. What is it? Titan Dragonoid. Very nice looking. Alright, let's move the card a little bit closer to the camera so you guys can actually see what's going on here. We're going to take a look at the next one up. Very nice looking details on this one. I'm just going to give you a spin of the ball for him. This is Pyrus Trox. So Trox, as you guys can see, is a little tiny T-Rex, and he is quite the fat one he is. As you guys can see with his nice details, with his nice detailed teeth, as you can see, with his nice sharp, very pointy looking teeth. Very nicely painted eye there, and nice details going around the head. We do have his arms right here, which as you can see are very nice detail, with nice orange claw bits and the green sort of details for the rest of his arm, which is again on both sides, as you can see there. And interestingly enough, on the belly, you guys won't be able to see because the camera's going to have a hard time picking up with the lighting. But there is detail on the inside of his body here, which is kind of nice to see that should put detail in there. Right up here, we have his little springy feet, which are very nicely detailed. Very orange looking, very, very orange, very red for the rest of his foot. So nice to see. And then on his body, we have some more little details going on. These little like markings on his sides, which are again on both sides. And then we have these very striking orange markings going down his back. And then we do have this very long tail here, which is very nicely detailed in this nice little orange streak that goes down the length of the tail, which is very nice to see. And also nice details on his backside. So, there you go. That is Trox. Very nice little dude. I do like him. Alright, so next one up after Trox, which give me 1 second once I actually close him up. We are going to be moving swiftly on to the next guy. This one kind of looks like a golf ball, at least in my opinion. Very, very well textured, kind of snake-like. And if you guessed that this was a snake, you would be correct. This is Pyrus Fangzor. Now, you may have noticed that I did open him up on his side because he's quite the lengthy dude. As you can see, he almost covers up the entirety of the card here. And he is a very impressive looking character. As you guys can see, very nice with his very nice serpentine look on him. We do have nice details on his scales on his head. Or should I say scale, it looks like on his head. Very nice details for the nostrils. Nice details going on for his eyes, very serpentine-like. And he even has details in his mouth, which I believe that little indentation there is supposed to be his tongue. And then these are supposed to obviously be his cobra fangs, because he is a cobra. I should have mentioned that before. He is specifically a cobra, not just a random snake. Nice details on his backside that we saw in ball form. Nice little orange markings there, which again are very nice. Nice little orange marking on the top near his head. Hey, what's going on, Faithful Twilight? Welcome to the stream. Nice details on the backside. You know what I mean. Welcome to the stream, man. So back to Fangzor here. We do have nice details, again, for the inside of his cobra head, which I will need the light to actually see. He does have these little eye spots on the inside, and he even has details on the inside of his snake hood, which, again, I was not expecting. But nice details there. Nice details going on for the belly as well, very snake-like as it should be. On the back, we do have these very distinctive orange markings going down here in the little part there for the actual mechanism of the closing of the ball form. We do have these nice details on the sides of the back side of the snake body, and then we do have nice details for the tail as well, which is very springy. And also nice details again on the sort of back kind of lower section of the body. So there you go. That is Pyrus Fangzor. Very nice looking dude. I do have several versions of Fangzor, so definitely expect to see him again towards the end of the video, because at the end of the video we're going to be getting into the Aquas faction by the end of that, so, the end of this, so definitely stay tuned for that. So, well, who am I kidding? For most of this series, mini-series, you're going to see a lot of repeats. But that's just kind of how it is, considering how Bakugan works. Anyway, moving right along to the next guy. You can kind of see what it's going to be already. It doesn't really hide much. This is a crab-like Bakugan. This is Vicerox. So Vicerox is very, very cool looking. He is obviously a big crab, as you can see. Right up here, right at the front, we can see his face, which if we get the lighting in there, you can see nice details for his eye, details for his teeth, and details for his eyebrows. I don't know why a crab has eyebrows, but this is Japan we're talking about, so what are you gonna do? Anyway, moving away from that, we do have the nice claws up at the front, which as you can see are nice and green. On this particular claw, this is his left claw, and then the right claw has this nice orange marking for the top claw part. Then on the back, we do see these little markings for the back of the carapace, which are very nice to see. Nice little markings here. I wish that there was no screw hole here, but there is. But basically that marking would be just replicated there. We do have his little legs right here, which this is like his back leg. These are his sort of middle sort of pairs of legs, which are very nicely armored and detailed. And then we have his front leg, and this little detail on the sort of midsection of his body. So there you go. That is Pyrus Vicerox. Very cool little guy. I do like him. Next after Vicerox, we do have this guy. Very round he is. This is another dinosaur-like Bakugan that we saw like with Trox. This is Pyrus Trino. So Trino, as you guys can see, is a Triceratops, and he is quite the chubba for a Triceratops. But again, due to size limitations and how Bakugan works, this is the best we got, people. but hey, at least it looks like a Triceratops, so give him that. As you can see, with the very nice horns up at the front that I unfolded before opening it, we do see his nice little nose horn right there. Nice details on his eye and on his face. Very nice to see. We do have details up here, what would be this sort of like the frill part of the Triceratops head, which is very nicely detailed with these big green spots right there, and then these little orange markings going off the side. Then we do have his legs right underneath that. Nice details for the toenails on both the front and I believe the back as well. Well, the back doesn't really have toenails, it just kind of has this little marking there. My mistake. We do have these nice orange markings, again, on this sort of midsection of the legs, on this little panel. So nice to see. Then on the back side, we do have nice details going around. We have the orange marking there, we have this little marking back here, and this marking over here as well. Which the camera actually made it look like this was actually farther away than it should be, but nope, the camera's just messing with it, I guess. And then we do have this nice little tail as well. Very, very small and stumpy. So there you go. That is Pyrus Trox. Trox. Trino, my apologies. They both start with T, so my apologies. But either way, that was Trino. Very, very cute little dude he is. And like I said, a very, very rotund little Triceratops. But hey, what are you going to do? So next after him, you may remember this guy from my birthday special. Very nice in red and orange and green. This is Pyrus, what is this name again? Scorpios, there we go. Scorpios. Yeah, so this is him. Pretty much the same, pretty much is basically unchanged from when I got him on my birthday. So very nice to see. As you can see, he is very scorpion-like with his big pinchers up at front, which again are very nicely detailed, very pinchy looking. They do have his very bug-like head, which does have some nice detail there, if I can move the claw out of the way. We can see he does have this little orange marking on his head. two little eyes molded in, and then his top two eyes are colored green there. And then there are nice markings and details where the mouth parts would be on the scorpion. Then on the back, we do have his 3 pairs of legs, which again have the same markings on both sides. We have a nice big orange marking on his tail. Very nice molded detail for the whole scorpion tail. And then nice molded detail on his stinger as well, which looks a lot more unicorn-like than it does actually look like a sharp, pointy stinger. Sting. But still, nonetheless, he's really cute. And again, later in the series, we will see this guy again. But for now, that is my first Scorpios, Pyrus Scorpios. Which, again, I got on my birthday, which was awesome because this guy's kind of hard to find now. And, again, one of the more unique designs, especially for the later Battle Planet releases. Next up here, we got this nice little guy here. Very nice molded detail all around. This is actually a new guy I actually got some time ago. This is the Pyrus version of a character that you guys may have also seen in my Bakugan birthday special, which is Pyrus Fade Ninja. So Fade Ninja is kind of an interesting character, as I said in my birthday review. That he is a very interesting little character. He's oddly humanoid, and he definitely sticks out, especially in a series where most of the characters are beasts. So it's kind of weird to just have a random humanoid thrown in there, but hey, it's a nice diversity, I guess, amongst the many, many beasties that we've gotten so far in this series. So again, nice molded detail going all the way around. Let's start at the head. Nice molded detail for the orange visor. The light's not picking it up, but there is detail on his face as well. We do have nice molded detail going around the head as well, which again is very nice to see. Nice green markings. We do have these orange plates going on top of the sort of shoulder pad looking things here, with some nice green markings going down the shoulders. Also, what's going on, Metroid729? Welcome to the stream. You have a cat. Oh, well, that is very nice for you, isn't it? By the way, Metroid, I know you saw this before. This is a reshoot, so don't be confused of like, why is there 2 Bakugan Part 1 videos? It's a reshoot, so please, and I'll explain at the beginning why I did a reshoot of it. But anyway, moving right along, so back to Fade Ninja's details. Starting again with the arm. Very nice details there for the hand. Nice little detailed knuckles right there. Nice 5 fingers, as he should have. Nice little green detail on the vambraces kind of going on there. These kind of like arm pads, I guess. Very nice to see. Nice details for the shoulders as well on both sides, as you can see. Nice details for his feet as well, which are very, very floppy. Nice detail for the front of the chest, where it leads into these large shoulder pads, as we discussed earlier. We do have the back section, which again has nice details going all the way around, even to where the magnet is. Nice detail, nice orange markings on his back as well. Nice molded detail going up his upper back with this nice little star marking on the back of his neck, or just on his back in general. And then we do have this nice little back flap as well, which has some nice detail. Now, more interestingly enough, this is actually supposed to be like a third leg to help prop him up. But on this particular mold of this figure, it folds up a lot higher than it really should. So, really strange, but I mean, he still stands up well. I mean, as you can see, he still stands up because this part's still relatively flat, so he can just stand up. But it's still weird to see that the third leg kind of part just kind of sticks up like this weird tail. But still, that is Pyrus Fade Ninja. Very cool little dude he is. And again, quite an oddity amongst the mainly animalistic cast of characters that we've had so far for this particular reboot. So moving right along to the Ultras now, we're moving swiftly into this guy, which again, you may have seen him before. Actually, I don't think I've shown him before, have I? Well, I may write me in the comments below if you guys have seen this guy before, but again, just for collection purposes, I'm just going to show him again. This is Pyrus Ultra Mantinoid. So Mantinoid is, of course, a praying mantis, as he should be. Very buggy, if I can just unfold him all the way. There we go. So starting with the head, very nice details right there. Nice little orange teeth going around the jaw. Very nice compound eyes, nicely detailed in this lime green. And nice little orange antennae coming off of his head. Moving away from that to his raptorial forelimbs, we do have them very nicely detailed in this red going all the way down here, with these prickly parts being nicely detailed in this lime green. And then we do have the nice orange arms as well, which are very nicely detailed. And do have some nice little spiky parts on here as well, so spiky. Anyway, moving away from that to his backside now. Very nice details going down his back. Nice little arrow markings and nice little molded detail there. Nice molded detail on the midsection here, this kind of mid-jointed part. And then onto the back section, we do have these nicely red springy wings, which are nicely detailed on the underside in this lime green. We do get to see these orange markings as well. These are where I believe this would be where his second and third pairs of legs would be. But on this particular figure, due to well, obviously the limitations of how big the figures have to be, he just has 4. Now these back here, I'm kind of confused on what these are. I've actually come to think that these are actually supposed to be his back pairs of wings. But other sources say these are actually supposed to be his third pairs of legs. I like to think that they're wings, because they don't look like legs. They look like wings. So I'm going to say they're wings. So these are his back wings, which are very nicely detailed in this nice orange molded plastic. Very nice and springy, as they should be. So there you go. There you have Mantinoid Ultra. Pretty cool little dude. Very buggy. Man, folding this guy up is a pain. If any of you out there own a Mantinoid Ultra, then you guys know just how much of a pain it is to actually fold these guys up. Because the way the arms work, the way that they fold up is simply genius, but it's kind of a pain to get them folded up. Anyway, moving away from that, we're going to move on to the next guy, which is very nice and red, very orangey, very green looking on the front there. Kind of doesn't give away, pretty much gives away what it is. I mean, you can see that's clearly a face. But this is the Minotaur Bakugan Maxitor. So Maxitor is very nice looking, as you guys can see, very orange looking, very red on the legs here. Let's actually move up to the head, actually, for this next segment. So very nicely detailed there, with the nice detailed nose there, detailed lower jaw, nice orange eyes, which do have the pupils nicely molded in there as well. Of course, it's hard to see, but the camera obviously can pick it up. We do have these nice big prominent bull horns on his head, as they should be, for our Minotaur. Then moving to his arms, we do have these nice molded details for the arms, and nice details on the blades. Now actually, on the actual monster form of Maxitor, these are actually supposed to be arm blades that he uses to kind of hack and slash at his opponents, but of course, due to how the toys work, they kind of just look like weird wings, even though this is where, technically, this is where the arm should stop, and this is where the blade should begin. But, again, it's hard to tell because there's no molding for a hand there, so kind of hard to tell. So, moving on to the back side of the character here, we do have this nice molded detail for the back of the upper torso here. Nice detail for his tail, which, if I can actually hold up the figure, it's very nice looking, very nice orange markings going down, and then we have these nice little scale details going down his tail. Now, interestingly enough, the actual little spring mechanism in the middle is also very detailed. As you can see, it has these nice little markings going down it. And it's very springy, as it should be. So, there you go. That is Maxitor Ultra. Very cool little guy. I do like him. So we're actually getting a good ways into the collection here, at least for this first part, as we're pretty much midway to the end here. As I said, guys, in my Beyblade review, this was going to be quite the short one, as there's not really much really to say on Bakugans, really. I mean, that's not saying that I'm bored of the toys or anything. It's just there's not really much to speak about, so that kind of makes it easier on you guys. It makes it easier for me to record, because I know that it's basically just going to be a few minutes, and then I'm kind of, done and out. So, moving away from that, we're going to go on to the next guy, which is very, very interestingly rounded, kind of at the front, but then it just kind of falls apart at the back. This is the Ultra form of Dragonoid. This is, well, obviously enough, Pyrus Ultra Dragonoid. And unlike the first time I tried to shoot this, he does not jump upright. Great. Thanks, Dragonoid. Anyway, so moving away from that, he is a very nice looking character. As you guys can see, he is quite a bit taller than his core version, which I'm going to bring in for comparison. So you can see how those two look. Right there. So moving Core Dragonoid out of the way for a moment, you can see how nicely he is detailed. As you can see, nice molded details starting with the legs here. Very nice details on the shins right here. Very nice details. Nice details for his toenails, which are nice and orange, as they should be. Nice details on his upper thigh here with the nice green markings on there. We do have the chest gem, which is pretty much iconic for Dragonoid at this point. Again, nicely molded and very green. We do have nice molded details for the arm, which goes all the way to the top of the arm. There, and we do have nice details for the front claws on both sides. Moving around here, we can see on his back, we can see the nice details for his wings, which, as you can see, a nice little kind of bone kind of wing structures going through there. And nice details for the wing membranes, very nice and red. Then we have details on this little back flipper part that helps him flip into his monster form. Then onto his tail, nice molded detail for the upper tail, nice little details for the scales there. Nice details going all the way down the tail. And then very plain on the actual little flipper part here, which, as you can see, is very, very weak. I mean, it just struggles to keep this tail part up, but I mean, it's doing its best. Now moving into the head, very nice molded detail there. So you can see very nicely detailed eyes, detailed teeth, and detailed horn as well, with this little wave indentation going through it. Which does look quite nice, kind of adds some more detail to that horn piece. But there you go, that is Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra. Very nice little character there. So keeping him off screen here, we actually are going to take a look at his diamond variant, which is very nice looking as well, which you guys can see right here. Again, literally the same guy as we just saw just a moment ago. This is the diamond version of Ultra Dragonoid. Let's see if we can get him to flip up the first time. And we did! Wow, we actually flipped up perfectly right there, like flawless jump. But anyway, moving on to we're going to start off with the head again. We're just going to go from top to bottom here and then move around to his back. So starting with the front here with the head. Very nice detail there, as we just saw on the original Dragonoid Ultra. Nice and red, nice little orange eyes, which are kind of hard to pick out because of the metallic paint. We do have nice detail for the teeth, at least the upper row of teeth, not the bottom row. The bottom row is just kind of just the same molded red. Then we have nice detail for the horn as well, which again has this nice kind of molded indentation going through it. Moving on to his chest here, we do have this very nice molded detail, which is again the exact same as in the original. We do see the core gem again, this time with a metallic green sheen on it. Then moving on to his arms, very nice and molded red, again without the little orange markings on there. It's just solid metallic red, just like his head is. So nice to see. Moving on to his legs, again pretty much the same detail. Nice little red markings on the side and on the front of the upper thighs. And on the lower shins, you do have nice molded detail there, and nicely molded toenails in orange there, which is very nice to see. Swiftly moving on to his backside, we can see nice details for the wings, which again have these kind of clear membrane parts, and then these sort of the bony structures going through there in red. And then we do have this nice little solid red flippy-doo, which again is very nicely molded. So on the back of the tail, we do have these nice molded details going down the sides of the tail like we saw before. And they also have a nice, instead of an orange tail, now it is this nice metallic red tail piece there. So again, for comparison, I'm going to bring in the original Dragonite Ultra, so you can see how those two look. Now let's just turn them to the side so you guys can see that, how those two look there. There you go. And then spin them around to their back sides, so you guys can see how that looks there. So there you go. Actually, wait, let me change the angle here. How can I do this? How am I going to do this? Okay. I'll have to hold them up like that, actually. Yeah. I'll have to hold them up like that. And then move this guy a little bit into frame. Come on. Why are you sliding? There you go. Get in the frame. Perfect. There you go. So, alright guys, that was both of the Dragonite Ultras. Very nice looking. You are going to see this guy again, so at least his next form that we're going to see in a moment. So definitely expect to see, again, like I said before, expect repeats. Because, again, with how Bakugan works, which again most of you already know how it works, there are going to be a lot of repeats as to be expected. So, let's close both of them up, and let's move on to the next diamond here, who is actually starting to come apart. Come on, stay closed. There you go. So here he is, very nicely molded. This is the Knight Bakugan Syndius. So Syndius is very nice looking, as you guys can see. He is kind of in this kneeling down position with his leg there and his leg there, kind of pointing his sword as if he's ready to fight you. Does look very nice. So let's start off with the head. Very nice details going around the head. Nice molded helmet parts. Nicely molded and detailed mouth plate. Nice green eyes, which are nice detail in that metallic plastic. Or metallic paint, not plastic. And then we do have the nice molded stripe going down the helmet right there. Just nice to see. If the arm move out of the way. There we go. Now moving on to the arms here. We do have nice detail on the sword arm, which again just come a lot more forward than it does the other one, which kind of stays more towards the head. And now moving on to the sword, very nice detail on the sword actually. And again, just in that same kind of metallic paint. And the spring for this is actually nice and powerful. So the sword flips out really nicely. It's not as weak as other models have had in the past, from what I've read anyway. So moving on to the side of the arm, nice molded detail going down there, nice red streaks, some kind of markings going down the arm. This arm actually is surprisingly weak, as the spring on this one is like really, really weak. So sometimes it just kind of moves a little bit more slowly on the activation side of things than it does everything else. And sometimes it kind of ends up on like a weird kind of angle, and I kind of have to like manually push it down a little bit so that way it actually sits right. But anyway, moving on to this arm, very nicely molded. As you can see on the back side, nice little details on the arm. Nice molded detail on the fist, with, of course, 5 fingers, as you would expect. And then we do have the nice sort of shield part, with a nice little arrow kind of detail going around the middle, and then this kind of orange kind of border going around the shield. Nice to see. Moving on to his legs, we're going to start with this leg. Very nicely detailed there. Nice detailed knee cap right there. Nice detailed metallic red foot, which is very springy as it should be. Then nice molded detail going around this sort of midsection of his body there. Moving on to the other leg, very nice wide orange marking on his kneecap. Nice little detail for his foot as well, which again is very springy. And the spring is a lot more powerful on this particular foot than it is on this one. I don't know why the diamonds have such weird like qualities with the different springs for the activation. But on this one, it's kind of mixed on the springs. Some of them are nice and powerful, like this little back flap here. And others are really weak, like the arm. It's just really weird. Moving on to this sort of back leg kind of armor section. Nice detail going on the back here with this nice orange marking going down with these nice 3 little indentations there. Nice little red markings on the bottom there. So very nice to see. And surprisingly enough, there's actually molded detail for this little midsection that actually helps with the whole activation thing. So nice to see. But again, because of the clear plastic and because of the camera, it's hard to pick it up, but it is molded in there. But there you go. that was Pyrus Ultra Syndius. And again, we will see this guy again later on. So, and it's thankfully it's not a diamond, but however it is, you know, just it's a regular sort of release of it. It's not like the specialty diamond one like I have here. Which again, I don't know why this one fusses with getting closed, but I mean, hey, it's a diamond, so, and it's an early diamond, so the quality control wasn't exactly the best on that one. Moving on to the next one, this is the second evolution of Dragonoid, which again is very nice looking on that one. Very nice and very closed off. It really does look more like a marble on this one. Now for comparison, we are going to bring in the original, so you can see the difference there. See, very gappy on this one, and this one actually fills in the gap, which is very nice to see. And again, this is the second evolution of Dragonoid. This is Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. Let's see if we can get him to open up perfectly here on camera. Surprisingly, he opens up perfectly. So let me just open him up all the way. So you got to flip out the horn, fold down both of the arms, and then open up the second pair of wings. And there you go. That's Hyper Dragonoid there. So let's start off with the head of this guy. Very nice prominent green horn right at the front. Looks much more powerful looking than the original Dragonoid. You can see nice details for the eyes as well, which are on both sides. Again, sadly no molded pupils, just one solid green eyeball. Actually, wait, hang on, there actually is a pupil. It's just really hard to see because it's a very small indentation. And the camera's refusing to actually pick it up because it's that small, but it's like right up in there. There you go, you can kind of see it, a little molding of the pupil there. Nice molded painted detail for the lower jaw. Sadly, no painted teeth there. And where did his upper row of teeth go? Now he just only has a bottom pair, which is weird. So, I guess the top row just kind of, I guess when it evolves, I guess it doesn't really need the upper row of teeth anymore. Very strange. Actually, moving away from that, we're going to move on to his arms, which again sit perfectly straight, unlike the original Dragonoid Ultra, where they kind of folded up against this sort of shoulder pad part, which again has a very nice green marking on that as well. Also, should mention that it does again have the chest core again, but this time in solid lime green, as it should be, instead of metallic green. We do have nice molded details for the legs as well, which have these nicely molded and detailed shins, nice detailed toenails, and nice detailed thighs as well, with this sort of orange marking on the back of the leg. It's just very nice to see. Moving on to the wings, let's look at the second pair first. Very nice molded detail going around the wing there. And on the other side, there is a little bit of molded detail. Not much, but it's there. And again, it's pretty much mirrored again on the same side. But again, I'll just show you the molded detail for the bottom, for the pairs of wings there. Moving on to the top pairs underneath, pretty much no molded detail, just solid red, but there's actually a little bit of molding. And that again is pretty much the same for both sides, so you guys can see. Moving on to the top of the top pairs of wings, we do have this nice kind of orange, sort of bony structures going around the wings there. Nice molded details for the red kind of membranes there. Nice details for the little spring part as well, which again helps it to flip upwards like we saw when we activated it. We do have nice long tail here, which has some very nice molding going all the way down the tail. Yeah, and no molding on the underside, sadly. And surprisingly enough, there's actually molding and detailing on this little back stinger part of the tail too, which is really nice to see. But there you guys have it. That is Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. Really cool figure. I do like him. And also I like how it makes a huge reference to Cross Dragonoid from the original series, with the fact that he has 4 pairs of wings instead of the standard 2, which is really nice. And of course, with each evolution, we are going to see more and more wings on it, as it should have. Moving away from that, we're going to move on to this next guy. Very nice detail on there, so you can, pretty much the heads right here kind of give away what it's supposed to be. This is the Hydro Bakugan Hydronoid, which let's see if he'll open up nicely on camera. Of course, he decides to flop over onto his back. But anyway, moving on from that, he is very intimidating looking, very big looking. Very, well, not big looking, he is big. Very big character. There we go. That's better wording for it. Let's start with the head. So very nice details there for the head. Nice molded detail for the teeth and the sort of innards of the mouth. Nice little detail on top of the head, on top of the cranium there. Nice details for the eyes, which again have very nice details on the pupils as well. But of course the lighting and the camera don't want to pick it up. There we go, you can kind of see it right there, a little detail of the molded pupil there. On the back of the head, we do see these nice little orange markings for the back of the head, this kind of inner part. Kind of looks like a jet intake or something, looks kind of weird. Moving on to the chest, similar to Dragonoid, he does also have a chest gem, which is very nice and green. And then moving on to the pairs of heads, which I'm just going to talk about one pair since the other pair are pretty much the same, just mirrored. Very nice details on those actually. Nice molded little green horn right there. Orange details on the face, green for the eyes, and then green for the tongue and the several rows of teeth right there. Then moving on to his lower section, we do have nice details for the front footies. Nice little green details for the toenails. Nice little red marking for where the knees would be. Nice details on the back of the feet, which again are very kind of minuscule and very kind of robotic looking. Nice details on the back of the tail with a nice molded stripe going down. No details actually on the back of the tail except for, of course, the little streak there and the little peg for the mechanism and the springs going around. Then for the midsection, we have this nice sort of scaled kind of techno detail going around there. Nice to see. Then on his back, we do have nice molded striping going along these little wing sections. And nice molded details on his back. So, there you go. That is Hydronoid Ultra. Pretty cool character. I do like him. He's very intimidating looking. And for an Ultra, he is quite tall. I mean, he's taller than Dragonoid is, so that's kind of impressive. So I do dig that. I do like that a lot. Folding in the head, folding in this, okay. And closing him is kind of a pain, but again, once you get him closed, he does stay, as they should. So very nice to see. Moving on to the next character here, he does look very nice, closed up here. This is the Leviathan Bakugan called Serpentes. Right there. Serpentes is quite the tall guy, just like Hydronoid. He is quite the tall dude. As you guys can see, you have nice molded detail for the head, which I'll start with the head actually. Nice molded detail on his head. Nice details going around the top of the head with these nice little indentations on the top of the head. Nice molded ears going on up there, kind of ear-like details. Nice details for the teeth and the mouth, which is actually, does have a pin in it, so it can actually open and close, which is nice to see. Nice details going around for the neck and for the back of the neck as well. Not so much for this part though, it just kind of has the joints of how it actually all opens. Moving on to the chest, again similar to Dragonoid and Hydronoid, he does have a chest gem, which is nice to see in green. We do have nice orange markings going on for this sort of midsection as well. Nice molded detail for these sort of feathery, plumy kind of wings, which again are nice and springy, as they should be. Nice details for the feet as well, and the sort of lower section of the body. And nice details going around for these sort of vestigial legs, which again are very nice and springy, as they should be. And then nice details going on for the tail. Nice molded detail going around there. Nice to see. And then no molded detail except for these two indentations on the little spiky part of the tail. But there you go, guys. That is Serpentes Ultra. Very nice to see. So, and I believe that's actually my second one. My first one, of course, being Aquos, but we're not going to see him until part 2. So, but at least we got to see the Pyrus version that I showed you guys before, I believe. I believe I showed him in a toy review a couple months back, so nice to see him. Alright, now this next figure is kind of a fiddly one, but again we have to cover him because he is part of the collection. So let's bring him in. Very nice details going around the ball form here. This is the Griffin Bakugan Nobilius. And Nobilius is quite the big guy. I mean, just like, well, that's with all the Ultras, they're supposed to be big. So very nice looking. So again, let's start with the head of Nobilius. which is very nicely detailed, very avian looking, nice kind of hawk-like head, with nice molded detail for the eyes and the pupils. Nice molded detail for this sort of head crest here, and nice detail for the lower jaw as well. No detail for the neck though. Moving on to his chest, we do have this nice green chest gem, like pretty much everything. That pretty much all the other previous ones had, like Dragonoid and Hydronoid, and what was the other one that had a gem? Let's see. Oh yeah, and Serpentines. So pretty much you can see a pattern here. There's a lot of creatures with chest gems in this series. Nice wings there as well, with nice molded detail. Let's move into those actually. You can see the orange details for these sort of plumage parts that kind of spring up, which actually does look nice. I do like the way that those are actually molded and how the mechanism works, so they kind of spring upwards like that. Kind of gives him more of a presence than, say, if they didn't do that at all and they were just one big giant piece of plastic. So I do like that. Nice molded detail going around the bottom part of his body. Nice details for these sort of horse-like front feet. And then nice details going on for the back of the foot, which again this one for some reason decided to close up. Nice molded detail going all the way around the legs. Nice details for these sort of foot nubs. Nice detail going on the back of his tail. A nice molded detail for the back sort of part of his legs. No molded detail for the inside though, as that's where all the little pegs and stuff go for him closing up. But there you go. That is Nobilius Ultra. He is quite the noble little dude. I do like him. Ah man, and closing him back up can sometimes be a pain. Because of the way his mechanism works, he's kind of a tedious mess. But again, once you get him closed up, he pretty much stays shut, so it's not really a problem. But still, it is something to note if you do get Nobilius, is that he is kind of a fiddly mess. And on my particular copy of Nobilius, the legs don't really like to stay closed, but surprisingly, this time they actually tend to stay closed. If you give them a good solid bump, well, particularly the left leg will just pop right out, which does suck, especially for how much I paid for this. But anyway, moving on to the next character here. Very nice details going around the ball form. This is the Elephant Bakugan Truncanius. Let's see if we can open him up on camera. And of course, he does not flip upright the first time, but it is fine. So just folding the trunk, the tusks up, we can now take a solid look at him. Starting with the head here, very nice detail for the top of the head. Nice details going around for the eyes. Very nice details for his floppy elephant ears. Nice details going on the trunk, very nice and green with some more detail. I forgot to mention the orange markings on the ears as well. Nice molded detail going on for the trunk with these sort of nice little orange markings on the first and second kind of segments of the trunk. Nice details going on for the belly of the elephant. Nice little details going on there. Moving on to the side, nice details for the upper body with these nice little shield kind of parts going on with this nice kind of green marking there, which is kind of hard to see. You can kind of make it out. Little green marking there. We can see the nice little markings on his feet as well, which are very stubby, but yet they do look very elephant-like, very strong legs. And then back here is where would be a tail, but because of, again, design limitations, I guess, they just molded in the tail, which has some nice details there, with nice orange markings there. Then the sides, pretty much the exact same as the other side, except now it has a sort of orange detail on the belly. Does it have the same on the other side? Yes, it does, actually. They have the little detail there for the sort of belly segment. But there you go. That is Truncanius. He is very nice. Oh, I forgot to mention the top of the head here. I forgot to mention that. Nice little detail going on the top as well. This sort of nice orange marking up there. As well as these nice sort of semicircle details going on the top of the spring bow thing here. And nice details on the back as well. Nice little kind of scale detail there. But there you go. Now that is Truncanius Ultra. And he is, again, quite the fiddly mess. Because of this particular mold of Truncanius, which I did get on my birthday again. Nice that I got him. My particular mold does not, again, like to stay closed properly. He looks like he's about to pop open at the seams, which is, again, very annoying because, again, at how rare this particular, faction and mold of this figure is. But, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, he still works. It's just I wish he actually stayed closed a little bit better. But, I mean, what are you gonna do? Can I actually get you closed up now? Okay, there we go. Alright. Come on. Jeez, these little plastic hinges just do not want to stay closed. Okay, did I get them closed? Yes. Okay, there we go. So that was Truncanius. Now let me quickly show you the ball form again so you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see, like, this little flappy part just does not stay flush. It just wants to, like, spring open immediately. And then these sections don't stay flush either. They just kind of have this really annoying kind of crack, this kind of seam going there. Which, again, annoys me because it looks like, literally, if I barely touch it, it will just spring right open. Which I really don't like. But again, it's not the worst thing in the world. But there you go. Let me move the card more into frame. Moving to the next character. He is very nice looking. Nice molded detail. This is the Kirin Bakugan called Kellyon. There we go. And of course, it doesn't open right on camera. So as you can see, he is pretty much exactly what you would expect from a Kirin, which is a dragon-horse hybrid kind of creature. Moving to the front of his head, he is very nicely detailed, with this orange marking for the top of his head. Nice details for these really weird-looking... really weird-looking kind of horn pieces, kind of like antlers. Nice details for the inside of his mouth and his teeth. Nice molded details for his eyes and his nostrils. A nice molded detail going around the sides of his neck and the back of the neck, all the way back to where the joint is for the whole mechanism. Moving on to his back side, very nice details going around the sides of these sort of back panels. Not very much molded detail on these sort of upper parts though, but a nice molded detail kind of marking on the spring part there. A nice molded detail on the sides of the springer as well. Moving on to his legs and his shoulder pads, very nice details there, very nice red sort of markings there with a nice little indentation kind of marking there on the side of the shoulder. Nice details for the legs, nice details for the sort of horse-like front legs. The sort of claw right there, and these sort of in this nice orange marking where the elbow would be for that side. Same markings on this side as well, just mirrored. Moving on to the very minuscule back legs, we can see this nice sort of back shoulder pad here, well, back kind of leg pad, I guess. And with this nice sort of red marking there, which is orange going all the way around there. Nice details for where the foot would be and where the back of the leg is. I forgot to fold out his tail. There we go. Nice molded detail for the tail as well. Nice detail for the joint where the sort of mid joint of the tail would be. A nice molded detail for this nice little extension part of the tail. Not so much molded detail on the bottom, just kind of a solid plastic piece. A nice molded detail for the mid body as well, on both sides. So that is Kellyon. I do like him. He is, again, a very fun figure. Now, what's interestingly enough is that he does have this sort of like automorph thing. I'm actually going to show you that real quick before I actually close him up off camera. As you guys can see, the way the shoulder pads work is that when you fold it up, these shoulder pads will kind of morph automatically into the ball form kind of configuration, as you guys will see right there. So you can see they kind of like fold back like that and they morph back like that. It looks really cool. I like how that works. That really helps you out when you're actually closing him up, is that sort of morphs up like that. So I do like it. There, again, closing this guy up just like any Ultra is a pain. But again, this is nothing new, especially for a Bakugan veteran like myself, to close these things up. But once you get them closed up, there you go. Now moving on to the next Ultra and the last Bakugan for Pyrus, at least for now. We already saw this guy before in his core form, but this is the Ultra form of Trino. Now Trino Ultra does look very nice, as you guys can see. Very nice molded detail there for the horns. We'll start with the head. Nice details for the horns there. Nice detail for the center horn. Nice details for the eyes as well. Very nice molded detail for his face as well. Nice kind of nostril details. And he actually does have details for his mouth as well, which sadly does not have molded detail on the inside, except for, of course, little plastic bits. But that's just from the, molding process. Moving on to the top of the frill here. We have these very nice green kind of eye spot looking things there. Nice orange spots everywhere else. A nice molded detail going up the middle of the sort of crest part. Moving on to his back here, we're just going to switch it up. Nice details for the orange parts on his back. Nice details going down to the tail, which has a very nice molding there. Just kind of little spot there on the tail. Very nice little red spot there for the sort of lower part of the tail. A nice molding for the tip of the tail as well. So I do like that. Moving on to the midsection of his body, we do have a nice molded detail for the neck. Nice details for the front of the foot, which does have a little bit of red for where the actual toenails would be. Nice green markings going up the sides here, with this one oddly enough just being red. And then nice details, this sort of screw looking details on his leg there, along with the toenails molded there as well. But there you go. That is Trino Ultra. I do like him. Now quickly for comparison, we are going to bring in the original Pyrus Trino that we looked at before. So you guys can see the differences between both characters. Let me make sure he's unfolded all the way. Yep, there you go. So there you have those two. If I can just spin them around. There you go. I really should get a turntable so that way I can actually spin these around better. But there you go. So definitely, I gotta add that to a list of things to buy. Gotta buy me a turntable. So that way I can actually show these off better, because especially with these Bakugan reviews, I really should have just waited till I actually got like a proper turntable or something to show these off. But I mean, we'll do the best with what we got. But if I can somehow get my hands on a turntable, that would be really cool. Because then I could actually review them a lot better. Because I don't have to manually spin them around and kind of have it all wibbly. I can have it to where I can just flip a switch or something and I'll just spin them around. Oh, jeez. Really? I just dropped this guy? Come on. Alright, so now, before we end the video, we're going to quickly move into the Aquas faction, which we only have 4 for this video. So let's quickly get started with the first one. For Aquas, as you can see. This guy may be familiar to you, as this is the one we looked at on the front. We looked at literally at the beginning of the video. That's what I meant to say. The first one for the video. That's what I meant to say. There we go. Finally got it out properly, instead of just rephrasing it. This is Aqua's core Dragonoid. We already saw this guy before, so I'm just going to briefly kind of look over the details there of him. Which, as you can see, pretty much the same details, except now with blue, orange, and this sort of, well, yeah, blue, orange, and then this sort of powder blue markings going around him. Which I do like. It is very nice looking. So I do like him. Now for comparison, we are going to look at his Pyrus version. So you can see how those two look. If I can actually get the wings to pop up right. There we go. So you can see that wonderfully molded in details. So again, I do like these two. These two I think fit very nicely together. I do like them. Now out of the two, I like the Pyrus version more. Mostly because, well, he was the first guy I got in terms of Dragonoids. And just because he is very nice looking. Actually, I said that wrong. I meant to say that the Aquos one was the first one I got, not that one. The Pyrus one came later. This guy was actually the first Dragonoid I got, which was this one, the Aquos one. Which, fun fact, you could only get Aquos Dragonoid, a core, in the battle arena set. That's the only way you could have gotten him. So, there you go. Moving on to the next guy for Aquos. We already saw this guy before. This is Aquos Trox. So again, just like the Trox before, very nice looking. Very nice details going all the way around him. I do like him a lot. So, there you go. That is Aquos Trox. Now, for a quick comparison, we are going to bring in the original Pyrus Trox, which I do have to unfold like that. There we go. So there you have the two of them there together. I like the color changes. I do like them a lot. Now, out of the two, again, I have to say I favor the Pyrus one a lot more. Just because I just like the fiery colors more than I do sort of the toned down blue color of the Aquos Trox version. But again, both of them are both very nice. It's just, out of the two color schemes, I favor the Pyrus one more than I do the Aquos one. But there you go. Moving on to the next guy, and almost the last one for the video. We saw this guy again before in Pyrus. This is Aquos Fangzor. I'm going to check to get Pyrus Fangzor for comparison if I didn't just drop the Aquos one there. There we go. Moving Pyrus one out of the way, let's get back to the Aquos one. Very nice details, again, going all the way around his body. I do like the way this one looks. Again, the toned down blue does kind of help this guy in terms of looking a little bit cooler than the Pyrus one. And I do like how they made the eye spots orange on this one. I do like that. So there is Aquos Fangzor. Now again, for comparison, we're going to bring in the Pyrus one. So you can see how those two look. Now, funny enough, that is the second Fangzor that I got. I believe, if I can remember correctly, out of these two that I'm showing you guys so far. This is, I believe, the first one I got was Aquos Fangzor. I'm fairly certain. It's hard to remember off the top of my head at the moment, but I believe it is. They're both. Yeah, I got this out of the two. I got this one first. And again, in terms of the two color schemes, in this case, I actually favor the Aquos one more than I do Pyrus in this case. I don't know. It's just the fiery colors don't really work for me. The two when they're side by side. And again, I do like the attention to detail on the eye spots. Again, instead of being green, they're orange now on the Aquos one. So I do like that. But there you go. There you have Aquos Fangzor. Moving on to the last guy for the video, and our fourth Aquos member or faction character for the video. I do like the way he looks. This is the Tortoise Bakugan, Tertonium. And I just love his name, Tertonium, and I love the way he looks. I like how he's in this kind of power stance kind of thing, like he's holding his ground, like he's not willing to back down without a fight. I like the way he looks in this kind of pose that he's kind of in. Moving on to his head, I do like this molded detail on this crest here for the turtle head. Nice details going on for his eyes as well. Nice molded detail for his lower jaw that we saw in ball form. So very nice to see. Moving on to the back of the carapace, or the shell. Very nice blue markings on the side of the shell. Kind of look like, they actually kind of remind me of fishtails for some reason. I don't know. They have a very nice detail on the back kind of scoots of the shell. I do like how that looks. We do have the nice orange details for the feet, and nice kind of details for the upper leg. And on to the back side, we do have nice molded detail for his back side as well. Nice details for his orange little feetsies here. Nice details on the back of the lower legs. And nice detail for his little tiny tail. Oh, and then I forgot to mention his chest also here does have detail. And his belly has detail too. But there you go. That is Aqua's Tertonium. And that is going to wrap it up for part 1 of this video series. If you guys do want to see more parts of this series, which I know you guys will, then please make sure to drop a like on this video. And also, let me know in the comments what your favorite Bakugan was out of the ones I showed you guys so far. So I'm curious to see which ones you guys liked. And yeah, so thank you guys again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe, to notifications on, and smash that like button. And I will see you guys tomorrow with part 2 of this miniseries. Thank you guys so much for watching.